Good morning, everyone. I'm very thankful to everyone, each one of you, that you all have given such a good response to the classes yesterday. I wish that we could have met, but never mind. Since this lockdown period is there and government is taking all initiatives to, contain the spread of coronavirus or COVID-19. Let's continue for today's class. Actually, today's class is going to be quite interesting, because I'm going to ask you certain questions and try to answer it. Try to answer it. Since it is not a regular class, so what happens? I might not get that responses. But if you keep on responding, then you will try to get the involvement properly and understand the concept even better. So till yesterday we have done till the importance of management, and today we are going to start nature of management. It is written over here, nature of management. So let's begin. Nature of management. Nature of management is actually dealing into three areas. One is management as an art. Next is management as a science. Third one is management as a profession. So these three topics are there which has to be discussed in the topic of nature of management. So first topic out of this is nature of management as an art. So now we are going to start the discussion about management as an art. Okay, very interesting question. Most of the time we get a wrong answer on this. You might think that this is a very familiar word, but you might not be able to answer. Many of you will be able to answer, but some of you will not be able to answer in that good manner. Well, this is not any discouragement. I'm not discouraging you. I'm just wanting that you students must get that interest in the topic. Okay, chalo, one question. What is art? Think and tell me, what is an art? You must be telling, sir, art is driving, or cooking, dancing, or say singing, or say drawing. All these are art. Beta, these are not art. These are examples of art. Okay, this is not an art. This is an example of art. So what is the meaning of art? I am asking you, what is the meaning of art? What is the meaning? Art is the personalized application of existing theoretical knowledge. See, such a beautiful definition of art. Art is the personalized application of existing theoretical knowledge. See, what happens in cooking, or let's say making a tea? Everyone knows how to make tea. I'm sure whoever is watching me, everyone knows how to make tea. Right? We all know that when we want to make tea, you need water, maybe you need milk, you need tea leaves, you need sugar in case, right? If any flavor you want to add, those flavors, let's take for example anything, any flavor that you want to add up over there. But if say four of us are trying to make tea, let's take for example myself, Anwar sir, you, my mummy and your mummy. Okay, so you, myself, my mummy and your mummy, four people are going to make tea. What do you think? That tea, with the same ingredient, with the same utensils, everything same, do you think that our tea will taste the same? No, it will not. Certainly not. Then what is the difference? Even when the ingredients are same, even when everything is same, why is the tea tasting different? The answer is art. The answer is over here in this theory, in this line which I have written. Art is the personalized application. You are going to make tea in your own way. I am going to make tea in my own way. Your mummy is going to make tea in her own way, and my mummy is also going to make tea in her own way. Some may boil water first. Some may boil water and milk together. Some may boil less time. Some may boil for a longer time. Some may add sugar first. Some may add, tea first, and so on. So many differences are there, so many. That is why it is said art is the personalized application of existing theoretical knowledge, right? So with this we come to some features of art. So now I am going to write the features of art. First feature: number 1, existing theoretical knowledge. See, in every art there is some or the other existence of theoretical knowledge. For example, say driving or riding. Many of you would know how to ride a bike, say a motorcycle. Many of you might be knowing how to ride a scooty. Many of you might be knowing how even to drive a car, right? See, if I talk to you in a simple language, let's say riding a bike, all of us know, whether it is a boy or a girl, all of us know how to ride a bike, right? How to ride a bike. Like we all know, put the ignition on, give key, right? And switch on the engine kill button. And then if it is self start, give the self start or give kick, and then press the clutch, give the gear, release the clutch and give the accelerator, and the bike keeps on moving. All of us know this, but how many of us will be very much confident in riding? Come on, let's take another example. See, all of us must have sat as a pillion rider with many people. With somebody, when we sit, we feel so comfortable. But at the same time, when we sit with some other person, we feel that fear, and we say, please be careful. Okay, don't go and crash. Don't hit somebody. Don't do accident. Understood? This is what something happens now every time. I am sure everyone must have felt this or experienced this, that when we are sitting with someone else, we are so comfortable and we are absolutely okay. But when we are sitting with someone else, then we are not so confident and we are not so comfortable, because existing of theoretical knowledge, right? Second one over there is personalized application. Personalized application. Now what is this personalized application? You are going to make tea in your own way. I am going to make tea on my own way. My mummy is going to make tea in her own way, and your mummy is also going to make tea in her own way. You are going to ride a bike in your own way, and I am also going to ride the bike in my own way. Understood? So it is a personalized application. If I give you a guitar, play a guitar. I am not sure how good you can play, but I am very much sure about myself that I can play very bad. I will play the guitar very bad. Okay, so things are same, but it depends upon how well you apply it. Personalized application. That means you will apply in your own way and I will apply in my own way. Third, third is based on practice and creativity. Based on practice and creativity. Yes, it is there. All art depends upon practice. If I say you today, beta, I want to learn guitar, teach me how to play a guitar, and you gave me some lessons, sir, play like this, but I don't go and practice, then what will happen? Do you think I will be able to do well in guitar? No. Similarly, in all kind of art, whether it is drawing, whether it is dancing, whether it is cooking, how many of you know to make a roti? Tell me the many people might know to cook a roti, but how many people can make that round nicely shaped rotis? Very few, I'm sure, very few. So it is based upon practice and creativity. The more you practice, the better you be. Okay, so now let's see whether these features of art are present in management or not. Yes, this feature is present. How? Because in management there's a lot of theory, there's a lot of principle, there's a lot of concepts which has to be practiced, which gives us a cause and effect relationship. So this is present. Well, about these principles and other things you will be learning in chapter 2. Next is personalized application. Yes, even this one is present in management. How it is? Because in management we deal with different kind of people. There are many managers, there are many leaders, everyone in their organization, they want to listen to them. They don't use any harsh language. Even without using any harsh language, people listen to them, right? There are many type of organizations that people don't listen to anybody. What is the difference? Because they apply it personally. Why? Because in management, management deals with human beings. Human beings are all different. That's why. Next is based upon practice. Yes, even this is present. Okay, with experience you will be able to be good in this thing. That is why the conclusion is management is an art. It is an art because, just a revision, just a conclusion, because all the features of art is also present in management. Yes? Okay, so now we'll go for the next topic of the day. That is nature of management. Next topic, management as a science. Now this also you must be thinking that science is such a familiar word, we might know the meaning of science. So let's discuss. Definition of science says that science is the systematic body of knowledge that explains certain general truth about something with universal validity. I repeat, science is the systematic body of knowledge that explains certain general truth about something with universal validity. So let's discuss now. So what is science? Science is having a systematic body of knowledge. It is a systematic body of knowledge. Like let's say for example, in science, whatever happens has a systematic body of knowledge. For example, if I'm not very good in science, but one thing I know about science which everyone else would know, that is a formula of water, H2O, formula of water. We all know that when we want to make water, so pardon me if I am wrong, right? Uh, with all due respect to all the teachers, like those who are good in science and all that, and all the students, two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen will make one molecule of water or something like that. Fine. So it is a systematic body of knowledge. It will be like that everywhere. It is not going to change. It is going to be like that everywhere, which explains certain general truth. In India, H2O is water. In America, H2O is water. In Australia, UK, France, Germany, anywhere, H2O is water. It is a general truth. It cannot be changed. It is a general truth. It cannot be changed. It is having a universal validity. I repeat, it is having a universal validity. Okay, so now we'll discuss about the features of science. The first feature of science is that there is a systematic body of knowledge. Yes, in science, in all the science, in science, any part of the science, there is a systematic body of knowledge. I was just explaining you about the H2O, water and all that, right? So this science is having a systematic body of knowledge. Everything in science has a cause and effect relationship. So science is having a very big amount of systematic body of knowledge. In every part of science, that body of knowledge is present. So next feature of science, these principles are based on experiments. Like whatever we discuss in science, whatever principles, whatever rules and regulations are there in science, these have been formed by the experiments only. There has been thousands and hundreds of experiments, then only these principles are formed. Next, third is universal validity. Now the principles of science, the features of science, all the rules and regulations, everything is universally valid, right? These things are universally valid. I gave you everywhere, whatever you do, like if you touch electricity, okay, and you are not taking precautions, or if you are taking, if you're not wearing shoes or something like that, then you're going to get that electric shock. You be here in India, you will get the shock. You go to Australia, you will get the shock. You go to South Africa, you will get the shock. Anywhere you be, you will get the shock. Similarly, one of the signs, if you have got say fever, what you should take? Something like the medicine that is prescribed by the doctor. So that type of medicine is applicable everywhere. When you get cough, you take cough syrup, and so on. So these features of science, first feature, as I discussed with you, systematic body of knowledge. Yes, there is a systematic body of knowledge in science. In science, again, the next one is principles are based on experiments. Whatever principles have been formed, they are made only because of experiments, and these experiments they have done repeatedly, so many number of times. Universal validity. Universal validity means that these principles are valid everywhere. You go anywhere in the in the world, it will be valid. Now let us discuss whether these principles of science are present over there in management or not. So the first one, systematic body of knowledge, yes, it is fulfilled. Why it is fulfilled? Because I explained you in the last topic of management as an art that in management also there's a lot of principles, there's a lot of rules, there's a lot of theories which is present over there in management. So this first condition, first feature is fulfilled. Fine. Principles are based out of experiments. This is partially present. Why, because in management we deal with human beings. You people, students, employees, they're not machines. They're not non-living things. Everyone is a living being over here. Okay, so lots of rules and regulations, lots of principles have been made with experiments, but these experiments was never a rigid experiment. Suppose if I want to motivate somebody, suppose if I am working in an organization, I am working as a middle level manager, I want to motivate somebody. Okay, the motivation method will be different in different areas. I'll give you one simple example. Suppose there are 3 boys in a class. One's name is, say, Rahul. Okay, if anyone's name among the listeners or the students is Rahul, so don't take it otherwise. This is only for example. I don't mean it personally. Say one child is Rahul. One child's name is, say, Ajay, and the other one's name is, say Vikram. So Rahul, Ajay and Vikram. These 3 students are there. I want to motivate them. But the way I will be motivating Rahul, Ajay and Vikram will not be same because of their natures are different. Okay. But in management, this thing is there. But in science, this is not there. If you want to boil water, any water, Bisleri water also will be boiled in 100 degree Celsius. Kinley water also will be boiled in 100 degrees Celsius. They are all same. This is having a application. So this principles are based on experiments. This feature is partially present because we are dealing with human being and it cannot be same at all that point of time. Universal validity not present. You might think, sir, universal validity is not applicable. Yes, my dear children, it is not applicable. The way we deal to a problem over here in India, it might not be there in any other country. The way people deal with their problems in some other country might not be able to deal. Like for example, I'll tell you one simple thing. Say a worker is not working properly. You might be seeing very huge number of people there in the Facebook, they're everywhere, videos get viral, people treat them so badly, right? Like but there in say in USA, if you don't treat people properly, you will be behind the bars, you will go to jail. Alright, so these principles are universally valid, but the method of application is different. So, since these 3 features of science we have discussed, first one is systematic body of knowledge. Yes, this is present in management. Second is principles are based on experiments. This is partially present and partially not present. And universal validity, these principles are not universally valid. It has to be changed and altered according to the situation, according to the requirement, according to the demand, according to the person with whom you are going to deal. So what is the conclusion? So what is the conclusion? Is management a science? No. management is not a science. Management is not a pure science. Management is not a pure science, but it is a social science. But it is a social science. Okay, so now comes the next topic for the day, that is management as a profession, which is a part of nature of management. So management as a profession. See, we are all aware what a profession is. Need not to explain such in detail. We have already done this topic in class 11, business studies. What is a profession? That is in chapter 1. But then, just for a reference, I am not going to go much detail into what is the meaning of profession basically. Still 1 minute of discussion about management. Profession. Profession is an occupation wherein a person is having a specialized and an expert body of knowledge, wherein that person applies it in his occupation and gets remunerated in return, which is called fees. Basically, they are required to get professional fees out of it. Very well defined and expert level of knowledge is required, and after that people apply it in their profession and they get remunerated. Okay, so now we will discuss about the features of profession. First feature is in any profession we need to have a well defined body of knowledge. For example, for to become a doctor we need to know about the human body or whatever specialized field we are into. To become a lawyer we need the specialized knowledge about law. To become a chartered accountant we need specialized knowledge about accounting and other areas. To become a pilot we need to know about the aircrafts. To become a driver we need to know about the car or bike or whatsoever. So for any profession that we want to get into, there is a specialized knowledge of body, right? Number two, feature number two, restricted entry. Now, what is this restricted entry? Anybody who wants to become a doctor, like say for example, many of you are studying commerce right now. Many of you might aspire to become a chartered accountant, but many of you will not be able to. Some of you will be able to. I wish many of us can do, but some of us will be able to become and some of us will not be able to become. Anyway, that also depends upon how nicely we do it. But then there is a restricted entry. Everybody cannot come into a profession. To become a professional, there is a lot of rules and regulations, like you have to pass those examinations. Okay, after examinations you have to go for the internship. After the internship you have to go for the personality development classes maybe, and then after that you have to take the professional body associations membership, and then only you can get a certificate of practice or you can do the practice and can become a professional. So this is a restricted entry. Everybody might aspire to be one, but they will not be able to. Number three, there is a presence of a professional association. Yes, for example, chartered accountants, ICAI, you have to become a member of that in order to become a chartered accountant and get a certificate of practice. For lawyers, Bar Council of India. For doctors, All India Medical Associations, right? But there is also a professional association for management, that is called AIMA, All India Management Association. It is there, yes. And of course, in profession, a professional association is present. Point number 4, ethical code of conduct. Now, what is this ethical code of conduct? In class 11, we have already done that. Ethical code of conduct is actually the way you're going to carry yourself in that organization, in that profession, in that venture. Okay, you will see that how a lawyer behaves, how a lawyer works. You will see how a teacher works. You will see how a chartered accountant works. You will see how a doctor works. You know, whenever we think about any of these professionals, there's a particular image that comes into our mind. So that is it. Ethical code of conduct, the do's and the don'ts. Number 5 is service motive. See, in a profession, the basic work is to go for a service motive, right? Now we will try to check whether these features of profession are present over there in management or not. Let's start discussing. Number 1, well-defined body of knowledge. Is it present in management? Yes, of course it is present, right? All those principles, all those techniques and other things are there. Fine. Restricted entry. What do you think? Only the persons who are MBA, right? Only the person, those who are MBA can become managers. No. There is no such restriction currently. I'll give you some real life examples. How many of you know about Google and Sundar Pichai or Pichai, whatever his name is? Please pardon me if I pronounce his name wrong. He's an MBA, right? He's an MBA. He's a BTech, MTech, and then he's a MBA. Fine. Sundar Pichai. But I'll tell you some important names again. Tata Sons, or you can say Tata Group. Name of the chairman is Mr. Chandrasekhar Natarajan. He is not an MBA. Yes, you got it right. He is not an MBA. Next, I'll tell you Maruti Udyog Limited. All those Maruti cars that you drive, those that you have seen everywhere, Maruti cars in India. The chairman of this, Mr. Bhargav, he is also not an MBA. Okay, another example. Let's say, so Tata Group, Maruti Udyog. Okay, let's say SBI. Even the CEO, chairman of SBI is also not an MBA. Now you see, out of 4 companies which I discussed, only Google's CEO is an MBA, others are not. And believe me, they are not doing bad. For India, they are one of the best companies and most important companies, right? So, restricted entry, right? In India, this is not fully applicable and fully into enforce or force. So, we can say that this is not fulfilled as of now. Anybody, so far as management is concerned, can become the manager if he or she is having that required skill, right? Next is professional association. Yes, it is fulfilled because we are now having AIMA, All India Management Association, and other associations wherein people can become the members, managers can become. So this is fulfilled. Ethical code of conduct, not that much. Service motive also depends upon the organization. So with all these, I can say that management, the conclusion is management is not a full-fledged profession in India, but it is becoming a full-fledged profession. It will become in times to come.